Hello. They're still doing the construction in the apartment next door. All right, so this is my review of the books that I read in November. If you have been watching the channel, in November, the books that I read were not so wonderful. And I said, I'm gonna read some great literature in November to have a good month, to be able to say, in November, I really read the good stuff. Runaway Horses. This takes place, I think, in 1935, 1936, Japan. It's about a young man who is very right-wing militant. He believes in the Japan for Japanese, and he doesn't like all this foreign influence, like a precursor to the rise of that whole World War II thing, all those shenanigans. Quite good. Temple of Dawn by Yukio Mishima, Part 3. I really don't need to talk too much about this because I just made a really big review of. If you want to see more about my opinions of the Sea of Fertility, I just made a video last week, so it's probably over there. You could probably see it. It was one of my most popular videos. I'm wearing a red tie, and there's a Japanese symbol, and there's a man with a sword. Okay. Temple of Dawn, Yukio Mishima. The first half of the book is really obsessed and concerned with the theory of reincarnation. I've read some reviews and criticisms that Yukio Mishima was exploring his own concepts of reincarnation, and that was very boring, to be frank. Second half of the novel, quite good. Some dirty stuff in this one. Third book, things get really corrupt and get very jaded in this one. There's quite disregard for human dignity, like manipulation. It's like you look at people as an experiment on what they can do for you. It doesn't matter what you do to them, as long as you see the results of your experiment. Overall, the series of The Sea of Fertility, one by one, the books are good to very good. Especially the first one and the last one. Number 1 and number 4, I feel are really the highlights, especially the disparity. So those two books, and number 2 and number 3, they help us get, that's the bridge. But overall, as a series, The Sea of Fertility is just amazing. It's really stunning, beautiful, just remarkable body, like a remarkable collection of books. God damn, that's really the good stuff. I really highly recommend it. And if I could recommend you just read them 1 to 4, that really is the best way to do it. After reading that, I decided to pull another massive book off the shelf and say, yes, I'm going to make November an amazing month for literature. Primo Levi. If not now, when? Not only is it a remarkable work of literature, I feel like I'm getting a history lesson. Like, this book, on several occasions, made me really sit down and try to remember, what was I taught in history class? And even about World War II. How much do I actually know about World War II that hasn't come from reading literature? Or especially, of course, Hollywood films. And I think almost 100% of my knowledge, no, come on, that can't be true. That is to say that my knowledge of World War II is poor and paltry. And I probably shouldn't take history lessons from fiction, but I do. I'm going to be doing a review of this one in a few weeks, so I won't tell you about it too much right now. But this book is just, like, Primo Levi. God, he has the longest Wikipedia entry I've ever seen. He wrote books about his experience at Auschwitz and World War II throughout his life. This one came quite late. This book was published originally published in Italian, 1982. Please read this book. Please read it. I'm going to do a big review in a couple of weeks, but I want to do it justice. So those were some heavy books, and I thought, okay, I need something a bit light, but I want to stick in the World War II area. And this book by Muriel Spark, The Girls of Slender Means, is about London just at the end of the war in 1945. And it is about these older teenage women, 20s, and they live in this sort of an apartment complex for women who are trying to get started in London. The cover gives it away a little bit, doesn't it? If you look at that cover, already kind of tells you something about the book, right? These girls living together, and they are leading some very superficial lives. The war is over. Their primary goal is getting married. In aid of that, their idea is to stay very slim. Sorry, the noise is getting outrageous. They're still doing the construction over there. I think they're smashing in the new carpets now. Muriel Spark wrote an amazing novel. She wrote The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and that book was just, it's one of the greatest short novels. About 150 pages, and like a little puzzle where you have to put the pieces together. It's like she's walking around the subject. The subject's somewhere in the middle, and she's walking around giving you like, oh, there's something that happens. There's a little piece of the story over there. And then she does a little bit more, and she says, oh yes, and now I can see something of the story from this point of view. And you're getting these bits of information. In the first 2 pages, she starts off saying, oh yes, I got a telephone call and this man has died. Okay, well, we're only on page 2 here. Is he important or not? And yes, he is important, but we know he's dead. Okay, so then if he's dead, when is this story taking place? That's how Muriel Spark writes this novel. She gives you a little glimpse of the story, and then she gives you another little disassociated glimpse. There's something that happens, and that's how she writes this book. And Miss Jean Brodie is very similar, that you get pieces of the story, and it's up to you to fit those pieces together. And I love that. I love that. I think if you read these books more than once, the next time is just far more rewarding, because now you've already got a handful of pieces, and now putting them together becomes so much easier. So those are the books that I read in November. The best book of the month. It's an adventure. It's a thriller. It's a survivor story. It's the story of how some Jewish people survived in World War II. It's a heavy one, but it's worth reading. It is really worth reading if you're at all interested in Jewish literature. If you're interested in World War II, like how people survived. 330 pages. Wonderful. Japanese literature, if you love it, if you're interested, this might be a heavy place to get started if you're interested in Japanese literature, but if you were to read this series, like you read the Japanese literature that is really going to teach you something. And this one, what can I say? It's not bad. It's fun. It's of a certain time. It's very lighthearted. Yeah, it was a good month. It was a good month. October, I did my review. I was thinking, this wasn't so great. Make November better. November was a lot better. I'm getting excited because at the end of December, I'm going to be making top 10 books to read in 2022. That's going to be a big video that I'm looking forward to making. I'm going to make a video of best books of 2021. That, of course, is going to be a lot of fun to make. I'm having fun with the YouTube channel. It's quite a bit more work than I imagined when I got started, but I'm still having fun with it. I wish I could figure out the microphone situation so that the sound was a little bit more clear. I wish I could get that HD sound. That's the thing I keep struggling with. And aside from that, it's all about reading great books. It's all about reading the best books that I can find. I've got my lists. Those are a massive help. If you don't know where to turn for literature, get a list. Just type it in. Just the 100 best books. There you go. Print off those lists, take them down to the bookstore, pick them up, read the back, read the first couple of paragraphs, and if you like it, take it home with you. You can really help my YouTube channel out by liking the video, sharing the video with your friends on Facebook. That could really help me a lot. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to make it into something that might generate a little money. I'm trying, and I see gradual marginal growth every week. Like a gambler, I always keep thinking, okay, all right, maybe the next one's going to be a big one. And I have to be content with the modest returns, but still, it's great. Every week it seems I get a few new subscribers. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Hopefully I can keep making videos that you enjoy. All right. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Grant loves books. Stay tuned. There's a lot more coming. tetralogy. Tetralogy? Tetraology. I don't know how to say it. I've even checked how to say it and I still don't know. Oh, you can see her tits. That is the main thing I've been struggling with these videos, I feel, is the quality of the sound. So if you're sticking with me this far, thank you so much. And if you have any ideas about how to improve the quality of the sound in an apartment, I thought the bookcases would help. Like, you wouldn't believe it. It looks like an insane asylum. I have tacked up all kinds of carpets and blankets to the walls to dampen the echo of the room. It's quite a lot warmer though in the apartment.